everyone.
Hi.
Welcome to Bitch Sesh.
Hello, I'm Casey Wilson.
I'm Danielle Schneider, and we're back in the nook, and we're happy to be here. A lot of people said I disappeared at the end of last episode, and I did. People literally were like, "Are you okay?" So people sent me some tweets because I just disappeared, and I did. I physically left the building.
You ran out with your jacket and waved to everyone,
Yes.
and I didn't feel like... I was like, maybe no one will notice. So I didn't say anything. And then I did realize Dan and I were talking for a while.
Yes.
And then at the end, I was just like, well, bye. And he was like, bye.
And people were like, you disappeared. Like I just stopped talking at some point. Like I was disgusted and wouldn't talk. I don't know. But I was fine. I had to run off to a meeting real quick. So I'm here. I'm fine. But
They're
thank
probably
you.
so used to, you and I talking at the exact same time, loudly over each other, that it was a shock.
Yeah, it was. I'm sure that's what Casey sounds like without me. But how are you this week?
Oh, Danielle, I'm good.
Yeah?
I'm good. I posted this tweet that in hindsight I thought was sort of funny. I knew it wasn't like that funny, but I was a Girl Scout until senior year in high school.
Just so strange.
Why is everyone laughing?
Like, were you wearing the uniform, like
At
with
points.
a badge?
At points.
To what occasion? Like into school?
My sash. Troop 1368, little shout out. Oh, but I don't think you heard the best part. My father was the leader.
What?
Yes.
My mother couldn't even be bothered to sew on my badges. She had to safety pin them on. So there was just
Danielle.
a pin on each one.
No.
Yes,
Not even like a hot glue gun.
No, nothing at all. It was safety pinned. Each one individually.
If anything, saying to everyone, like, I did not take care of this.
But there was one house in my neighborhood down a big old driveway that would buy like 40 boxes every year, and she was a shut-in. I used her to my benefit.
Honestly, like the cookies of it all, I would sell so many, and then I'd forget which house I'd sold to, and then I'd eat a good bit of them. And every year, my grandfather had to like help me write a check, and he'd be like, "Sugar, all right, I'll write a check for these cookies," because I was like always eating them and never getting them back to people. But I did tweet. I knew it was like Girl Scout cookie season, but I don't have those kind of connections right now.
No, either do I.
I mean...
I can't believe your old connections wouldn't help you in a jam. You were a Girl Scout till basically last year. Like, that didn't help you?
Well, and I don't want to brag, but maybe you've heard of Eagle Scouts. I was a Gold Award winner.
I don't even know what that is.
It's lesser known, but it is the equivalent. And I did a community theater project for it. Okay, guys, we were a great group of girls, okay? And we're all still friends. And we did more extreme things. It wasn't just, like baking and this and that. We hiked, we did backpacking, we did canoeing, we did whitewater rafting, skiing. It was extreme sports.
What? Really?
Yes, rock climbing.
And you're a senior in high school doing all of these things with a badge on. A sash on.
No, we didn't wear our sashes a lot. Like sometimes at the jamborees, of course, we pull a sash out.
Jamboree!
Well, where everyone makes swaps, which are like little, little trinkets, kind of like tchotchkes that you can pin, much like your mom did. You would pin on you like a little thing of s'mores, or like you could pin a little, I don't know, you'd make a little something very Etsy, and then everyone would swap them hence.
And what sort of badges did you get in your elder years as a Girl Scout? like walking with a cane.
A lot of community service badges, Danielle. You're frowning upon it.
I'm smiling huge, ear to ear.
But it's really a great organization, and I've gone back to speak several times. But what I will say is, despite all of those entrenched connections,
yes,
I tweeted just casually like, I need a box of Thin Mints. Like, this is not a joke. I'm in great need. And again, it's not hilarious. It's neither here nor there. When I tell you the amount of dear friends that came to my rescue, the amount of Girl Scout cookies I got was so touching and also sad. My husband's like, this is very sad. Like that people know you well enough to know like you really did need those. Friends are like, they're selling them outside of Gelson's, and someone's like, I put them in your mailbox, and someone's like, my wife has some, call her.
That's so nice.
People knew I needed them, and I got a lot of boxes off that tweet.
I need to tweet something. Can I say that I have not tweeted and I have not received a box? I mean, sure, people have offered to have said like, hey, my daughter is selling them. Like, it might.
Oh, but you don't want to pay for them?
Exactly. I would like some free Thin Mints, FYI.
I mean, those Thin Mints go down easy.
So I could finish a sleeve.
A sleeve is nothing. A sleeve is like, you might as well have just taken 2.
I know. It's like, a sleeve. I could do a sleeve in under an hour.
Under an hour? I can put down a sleeve in like a commercial break. Like, I put those babies in the freezer, and I was looking at the freezer like, come on.
I know, like, and I'll always like not finish 2, like as if to say I didn't finish a sleeve. Like I have to.
I'll tell you what'll kill you: the tagalongs. They'll burn you on those calories. Yes. My husband's like, "Oh my god, these are like 100 calories each." After I had like crumbs, I'd eat like 20. I was like, they're so good.
Good, and I have a lot of shame. Like I think I wasn't allowed sweets as a child. Well, not really. Like it was always like have a tab. Like it was not great.
It's very sweet.
So I've learned, but it was like fake calories. Like just terrible calories. Like nothing real, not real sugar. It was just chemicals. So I have so much. So I had to hide my sweets from my parents. So even now, like with my husband, I'm a grown person with a child. I still hide wrappers in the garbage.
I do too.
And under things, and Matt will be like, "Did you eat chocolate?" I'm like, no. Like as if I'm going to get in trouble for it.
I know. And the only one I'm in trouble with is myself.
I know.
And I am in trouble. I know. I'll hide I have a hot tamales obsession, and I'll like hide the box, and I always get found. And again, it's like, it's not that anyone really cares.
No.
It's just an instinctual kind of like,
I'm going to get in trouble.
But I'm like, are a lot of people eating king size things of like hot tamales on a regular basis?
I'll have a king size Reese's really easy.
Really? Mm-hmm. So how many is that in there?
4.
Because that's how many you want.
Exactly. 2 is not enough.
2 is nowhere near enough.
And 4 is just right.
I do feel about candy as though, and I've heard this phrase in kind of like circles of surrounding AA, which is like, 1 is too many, 1,000,000 is not enough.
Yes.
Like for me.
I agree.
I
have a sugar addiction, definitely. Yeah. And I need it. And like when I don't have it, like I can, like today, I was at a Gelson's, and I had picked up.
Big shout out to Gelson's this week.
You're really doing the Lord's work this week, I gotta say.
And the best part about Gelson's is they have like quote unquote nicer candies.
Oh, they sure do. Like so a lint truffle.
Yeah, you're like, I'm really doing it right.
Today I went and had lunch there, which, guys, for those of you on other parts of the country, it's a grocery store. I sat myself down in a chair at a grocery store and ate lunch.
They even have tables?
It was me and an elderly woman.
The one near me opened a wine bar, though.
Ooh.
But it's like you're facing a wall, and you can just like drink wine and fill out a form, and someone will go shop for you. It's like, what's going on that you need to drink while someone else shops for you? But you're there. It's one thing if you're home, but you're there.
That's strange. Well, mine was just kind of like near Beverly Hills, and I was really happy, at peace. And then I did see an elder woman, and I was just like, that's me. I just like saw myself, and not that distant of a time from now. And I was like, it feels right. But then afterwards, after I'd had my lunch, which was not even a sandwich, I had like a rice bowl at a Gelson's.
God.
Guys, I'm not proud of who I am at this point in my life. I'm a mother. And so then I like needed chocolate, and I like freaked out, but then I got a nice chocolate, and that was real good.
What'd you get?
I got some sort of fancy chocolate peanut butter cookie. It was lovely.
Wow. I admire you because you are, you're very slim. Mm-hmm. And I feel like you're someone who can say to themselves, like, I'd like a dessert and I'd like to have one. And then you can do it and it's all fine. I'm like, oh God, don't do this. And then I do, and it goes through so much.
I go through something though, too, just because it's a sugar addiction for me and because I'm not eating healthier things. So I beat myself up about a lot of stuff, but about like what I should be eating instead, because I'm not eating like enough vegetables or fruit, or why can't I just have like a tangerine like a normal human? And so
I had a tangerine today.
Did you see? You're doing the good stuff. Yeah. I did not have a tangerine.
Yes, I did.
So anyway, it's a shame spiral, but it starts with the Girl Scout cookie and ends who knows
where.
But I still haven't gotten those Girl Scout cookies, so if anyone would like to.
Oh, this is a sad plea. You know what? Maybe you should ask me, because I do have connections.
Do you?
Yeah.
Oh, you do, obviously. Mm-hmm. Can someone leave them in my mailbox? It is a locked mailbox.
Although
leave them on top.
No Samoas wanted.
Really?
I don't love the coconut.
It's not my favorite. It's 3 out of, definitely Thin Mint first, then Tagalong, and then.
And what about Do-si-do? I love.
What is the Do-si-do again?
It's a kind of more of an oatmeal with a little peanut butter in it. And then they always have that wild card where they're like, just experimenting. And it's like 20 million weird things thrown in. It's like, this doesn't work, guys. Eliminate this spot. And that's just some feedback to the Girl Scouts.
That's some fearless feedback for the Girl Scouts. Yeah. I called the Girl Scouts recently during the election. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
Okay, let me explain. That was a misunderstanding.
Of course, you have boots on the ground about that.
No, and I will take this moment to clear this up because Danielle and I are involved in a political group on the East Side. Where there was one woman wrote and basically said, like, the Girl Scouts are sending troops to the inauguration. And
again, like, we're not trying to be political or anything, but we are.
Yeah, we're just trying to talk about the Girl Scouts. Yeah. And it was a misunderstanding, which is, it's not that they were mandating any of this. It was that one troop had decided of their own volition to go, and the Girl Scouts is non-political and nonpartisan. And so...
Well, I left a weird, convoluted message.
You did, Danielle?
I sure did.
It's a wonderful organization.
I know, and I plan to I want my daughter in it, and I said that in the voicemail that I left to them. I don't believe you me. I was utterly confusing, as is all the voicemails I've left over the last few months.
Yeah. I have like, hey,
not been articulate. If anything, I am not making any sort of sense. So no one has to worry about me.
Well, I read this article in the New York Times today that basically said like all the like leftist kind of passion is just driving people in the middle to the right. They're like, you guys are really, it's a lot. It was like, it's definitely igniting the left, sure, but it's also alienating the people they could save.
Well, I also, if I could just hear back all of the voicemails I've left over the past few weeks, I think I would feel just shame.
I would love to hear them.
Because they're all emotion and nothing.
Are you crying at times?
Sometimes.
Good for you.
Oh, guys, it's been a rough road. I've had to sort of...
Do you think the person listening to it is just like skip next or just like pouring themselves
I think they're
coffee?
Laughing. Again, people like me are just not articulate enough to make any sense.
Okay, all I want to say is I'm proud of you for doing
Thank
calls.
you.
But don't try to take it out on GS.
Wow, you have really found a line,
Danielle,
and I crossed
make new friends and keep the old.
One is silver and the other is gold.
A circle's round, it has no end. That's how long I will be your friend.
Wow, you know the second part. That's only for the oldies.
Yeah.
The young bucks don't know that stuff. The kids in the group. The old ladies.
You try to go to Girl Scout. I've been to Girl Scout camp, guys. It is very deep. It runs very deep. And
I think I left in middle school is where
that was too early. Most people leave around then. And I'll tell you, it's just when it's getting good.
I don't think so.
Now, look, did I catch a lot of flack from troop members in 1368 on all the camping trips? Somehow I'd have to sleep in the same bed with my dad. Yeah, I did. But you know who else is someone else is going to sleep with him? They'd be like, ugh, you slept with your dad? And I'd always be like, oh, Dad, why do we have to sleep in the same bed? And nobody loves it, but we're all doing what we can.
I went on a father-daughter Girl Scout camp out in the 4th grade, though. Yeah. Went to a Girl Scout camp with my father.
See, that's a redundant title for what my father was always the leader. Go on.
Well, my mother was not involved, and my father would like pick up the slack sometimes. And he went on a father-daughter camp out with me, and I thought there was a bear in my cabin, and it turns out, literally, I was like, there was a bear. I was scared all night. Turns out my father was just snoring, but I had never like slept in a room with him. It was terrifying. Oh my God. In a cabin, I was like, there's a bear. And I woke up and my dad was like, I was snoring.
He's like, that's me.
Good to know.
Wow. Should we take a quick break and then let's introduce our guest, Danielle?
Yes, please. We are back, and we are back with someone I'm very excited about.
Very excited, Danielle.
She's on a very funny show on TV Land, and she is a huge Housewives.
It's not Kyle's scripted show.
No, it's not. As we saw tonight, Kyle is very involved with that show.
Some intel on that later.
No, this is even better. She is on a show called Teachers. Please welcome to the podcast, Cate Freedman. Cate.
Hey guys, thank you so much for having me.
We're so thrilled to have you. And Teachers is a very, very funny show.
Hilarious.
That you started. You came out of a comedy group of 5 women with variations on the name Katie.
Yes.
Is that right? Called the Katie Dids.
Yes.
And then you guys moved here. You got your own show on TV Land called Teachers. I'm so impressed by that.
Wow.
Thank you so much.
So impressive.
Thank you.
It's very hard to get a TV show.
Danielle and I are working on it.
We're still trying.
Thank you. We're, the luckiest experience. Could not be more grateful for it.
Could I be on Teachers?
Absolutely. Oh my God.
Would tomorrow?
But
would you guys?
She did tell me they're still shooting.
Do you need an old elderly Girl Scout?
Do you need a girl who eats at a Gelson's like an old lady?
Yes, we need both of those characters very badly.
Great.
We'd be so honored to have you guys.
We would love to be
the
there.
parts write themselves.
Kate, we're so happy to have you, and shout out to all your other teachers.
Thank you.
Yes, all the Katie did. But you are here in a banner week. A banner week.
I sure am.
Because...
And you've brought with you a very small legal pad.
I do. I take these shows very seriously, and I take your guys' podcast very seriously. So I wanted to come prepared with all the stuff that we might or might not talk about. Now, as I review my notes, some of them are far less relevant.
But they're extensive notes, and I really appreciate that.
Yeah, my father is a lawyer, and he takes out a legal pad. He did, on real cases, has not written as much as you have written.
Really?
We're
so
in for
nice.
stuff.
That is so nice. I mean, it is just for people who taught me in high school who are listening, like, she was so stupid. I do have 4 pages.
Wow.
And that's just one episode.
And you did tell me you dropped out of college.
That would be correct.
Great. Wow. But you know what? We don't need any degrees to sit at this
you
table.
sure don't. You sure don't.
Although if there is
I would say
master's in Bravo, I have it.
A doctorate, please. Still studying for my pitch.
What I keep slurping on over here is my 3rd cup of lemonade. Just gonna...
Sounds delish.
Sorry, guys, I can't get enough. Kate, first of all, you and Danielle have seen a work of art.
Oh, my.
That I made the mandate that Danielle and I watch, and I did not.
Yeah, Casey texted me and she's like, I think we should watch Britney Ever After. And I was like, on it. And then I was like, Casey, are we doing this? And she was like, did not watch.
I'm so sorry, Danielle.
It's quite okay.
But you guys watched.
We watched.
Luckily, I watched it twice on
Twice?
Saturday night. Yeah.
How did you do it twice?
Well, I was channel surfing and was homesick all weekend. My best friend came in from New York and she was a little sick, and we were hanging out with my boyfriend, and then we all got sick, and then my boyfriend and I were watching TV, and we were flipping by Lifetime, and it was the last like 15 minutes of Britney Ever After, and I was like, oh shit, we missed it. We forgot to DVR this. But I was like, you know what? Life's too short. Start it at the last 15 minutes and then continue on for the
full
repeat
feature.
And then, you'll be done 15 minutes earlier when you watch it.
Right.
And I stuck through it. So that's how that happened.
I have to say, now we won't talk forever about it because Atlanta, we have to get into it. It's amazing this week. But I have to say, the movie itself was terrible. I mean, it's not a good movie, but I felt the performances were spectacular.
They were
spectacular.
Brittany and Justin.
Oh, yeah.
I felt the chemistry. I felt her pain. I thought she captured Brittany. I've never met Brittany, but I felt she captured her. I felt there were some embarrassing things. And look, Lifetime, I know you're spending some money now. I know that you have like, what's that show I've watched? Unreal.
So
which is
good.
fantastic.
It's so good.
They've really spent some money. They spent $0 on this movie. Zero. I would say all the scenes at the VMAs look like they took place in a house. In a small house at that. Or like a gymnasium, like something where a cafeteria, like they just...
A Gelson's.
No, Gelson's is too big.
Right.
For where the VMAs they took place. I just felt like Lifetime, I just wanted them to come in. And I love Lifetime. I'm a huge fan. Been watching movies at Lifetime forever, and I love Unreal. I felt like they needed to spend a little more money.
Right.
And that's on them.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully they'll see the great response to Britney Ever After and maybe do a Britney Ever After 2 or Britney Here I Am Now, something like that.
Is there anything more to tell?
I would hope. I think there is a story to tell. I feel like with this movie that premiered last Saturday, we got a lot of Britney, but we didn't get a lot of Britney with her kids.
No.
And
what about with Kevin? Did you see that?
We did,
We
but
did.
not... I'd say not enough. Like, I would watch.
You wanted more.
I wanted so much
I
more.
like the
Give me more.
Brittany and Justin. I felt like that was the highlight of her life. Like, I felt like that was the love of her life. And I was crushed when they broke up. So she must have felt worse than I did. I would imagine.
God.
And their love in this, like, I felt the attraction between the actors.
I did, yeah.
And I felt like she was truly crushed when he moved on.
Now, I've just again have not seen it, but seen a lot of tweets where people said it's truly the worst thing they've ever seen. But you two seem to have a different take. And I'm just arguing the other side, you know? Again, having not seen it, I feel I can jump in this discourse.
Again, it is not a good movie. It is good acting.
Wow.
Really solid. Like I personally, I know I'm going to sound like a sarcastic piece of shit, but I'm being sincere.
I am too.
Master class in acting. No joke. I mean, they were
the dialogue's not great.
No, it truly is not.
So if they're making that good.
Yes,
exactly.
If I can feel something in that. And again, I don't even blame the writer, but I'm just saying that like the acting is the best part.
Wow.
Yeah. Can I shout out a scene in the movie?
Oh, is it the dance scene?
Oh my gosh, no! But that was
hard
epic.
to watch.
It was very hard to watch. That wasn't
the dance off between Britney and Justin.
It wasn't like based on a real event.
Oh, it's real.
No.
Yes,
no,
I am a huge Us magazine reader from way back, and I will tell you, I remember the day it was reported.
What?
I remember where I was.
No.
Some people remember when the shuttle Challenger blew up or JFK was assassinated. I remember the day of the dance off. That is my day of infamy.
Oh my God. I could have sworn, because, at the end of the movie, they're open with you. Some of these events were fabricated for entertainment.
Yeah, Can I say though that I didn't watch the last 15 minutes of the movie. So I did not get that little, not all this was true. So I thought it was all
that little nugget.
I was all like, well, this just happened. This definitely all happened.
I thought it was a shout out to the movie She's All That and the dance off between. Like, that was the only reference
that
I
did
had
come
for the
first.
dance off.
Vice versa.
That did.
Whoa.
Wait, I don't know. Yeah.
I think She's All That is of the late 90s. And I believe, again, as I remember, I was there. I'm not there, but there mentally. The dance-off happened early 2000s.
Okay. And what scene are you recalling?
Well, now I'm questioning it all because, Danielle, please tell me, was this real?
What?
The scene in which it's the VMAs and Britney's getting ready, but she's very, very nervous and she's about to come out there and do Give Me More.
Yes.
And she's nervous and she's just trying to do her best. And Justin comes.
That was heartbreaking.
Oh my God, it shattered me. And she falls on the floor.
What happened? Justin came and went.
He was like, they had been broken up. Brittany is a mess. She's had 2 kids. She's under this Sam Lufty's, like, I think that was his name, like Svengali, and a bad Svengali at that. But and Justin is now like happy with Cameron at the time, or was he even with Jessica Biel at this point? I think he's still with Cameron Diaz at this point. Right. And he just like, he knows she's a wreck and she's about to perform at the VMAs. And he comes to her dressing room to say, like, good luck, break a leg, like just to give her support. And she doesn't want to see him because she's such a wreck.
Yeah.
And so they kind of like catch each other in a mirror, I want to say, like their eyes meet. And it was a beautiful moment.
It was beautiful. It was also devastating. Like, shout out to this leading lady who, like, she's like, someone's like, hey, Justin's here. And she's like, no, tell him I'm not here. And then he's like, oh. And then they catch eyes in this mirror, even though she's not in front of him. And he just walks away and she falls to her knees. And I just was shattered. But I guess this is also totally real.
I don't know if that's real. That was not reported in the trades. She didn't answer the door. That's what April says. April Mouton, millennial at large.
So then maybe they just dramatized that a bit.
Which
and
I'm
did
glad
they
they
show?
did.
I'm sure when she buzz cut with the hair.
Not enough. They seemed to show it in like flashbacks, but they didn't really like show us the scene. I guess they didn't know how to do it justice. That's a hard scene to write. As a writer, that's a hard scene to write.
It's a hard scene in general.
I remember that well. I mean, again, I lived this.
God, that was a toughie.
I remember that, but totally forgot that she fought off the paparazzi with
a golf club.
What? She is so badass.
She is. I love Britney. I love Britney. I feel like she has suffered. And I felt like, again,
and I'm so happy that her niece is okay.
Me too. Casey and I were literally texting each other like devastated when this happened.
Something, I guess her niece was in an ATV accident of some sort. And I was like, I don't want the Spears family to go through this. This is so horrible.
She seems to be fine and like back at school and doing great. And I was relieved.
Oh my God, me too.
I literally took it personally. And so I'm so like, blessings.
Blessings with that, blessings with this movie, it seems like.
Yes.
I mean, again, I heard Britney basically is going to probably sue them for this, but it sounds like you guys love the performance.
I felt like if anything, it made me
gave you a window into her. But
I did. In fact, like I deep dived on her Instagram today just because of this. And I follow her on Instagram, but I really just kind of like went back and was like, just needed to like tap into Britney again.
Well, that's like the perfect turn in one of those things where it's like, Britney's like, I'm suing these motherfuckers and everything. And then it's like, but she's reborn.
Yeah, she is. I mean, everyone was watching according to Twitter. So I'm glad
but one Girl Scout.
one lonely elderly Girl Scout.
Passed out in a hot tamale coma.
But I'm glad you asked me to watch because I don't know that I thought to, but then I was like,
who has the time? I don't.
I made the time.
You really did, and I thank you.
And I watched it, and I was not disappointed. So I hope everyone agrees that. I'm curious if everybody else thought the acting was terrific.
I am too.
Tweet at me.
Guys, shall we move right to Atlanta? We're starting with Atlanta because, and I don't think it's too brazen of a statement for me to say, I believe this week's episode of Atlanta was one of the best episodes of Housewives I've ever seen.
Agree.
Hands down.
Right?
Hands
You'll
down.
get no argument from me. I had to.
It was complete.
Yeah, I had to freeze, rewind again. I was laughing. I was crying. I had every emotion.
It took us on a real roller coaster ride. It was a tour de force of editing.
Oh, yes.
Wow.
Wow.
They pulled out some new stops.
New things like a slow motion walking that I have never seen in this.
I mean, they cut
whole
to nature
franchise.
scenes.
That was
a
the
butterfly
best.
opening and closing its wings.
During a vaginal rejuvenation procedure, they cut to classical music and a butterfly opening and a flower opening and closing.
It was insane.
And that vaginal rejuvenation, by the way, was like one scene that I could like not even mention. There were so many good scenes.
Oh,
my
and I would
God.
also say the vaginal rejuvenation, it's like I've kind of been there, done that with the Housewives. So that was like nothing compared to this episode. Like this, I mean, should we start at the beginning?
At the very beginning.
Let's do it.
Just Marlo taking selfies with a pink drink as they were leaving. Really?
I wrote that exactly. Everyone's packing. She's taking selfies with a martini. And then right off the bat, Sheree reminds us that, quote, as the bone collector, I am still digging for bones. She is just really.
I love her.
She's the best.
I love her. Sheree is amazing. Do you remember when you were like, I could give or take Sheree, and now you're like, I know who Sheree is.
I know who Sheree is and I need her. I don't care for her as a human. I find her to be human garbage.
But we don't have to care for them, I think. I mean, I do care for her. I will say I care for her. Though, and I know I'm skipping ahead, but when they were like, what's her son's name again for the cargo?
Cairo.
For Cairo, when they were like, will there be compensation for Cairo for this fashion show? And
Oh my God.
she was like, he'll get a backpack.
And she goes, a backpack. Backpack.
But I'm like, why do you need more than one backpack?
And then she's like, throw these children $100 or something. She's so just wow.
I love her so much.
The whole thing. So we start Candy and her friend drive back on their own.
Random stragglers at this camping trip. We still don't know half of the people that were there.
Yeah.
And then we go, and Candy basically goes back to the candy factory and is amongst Todd. And at one point,
Don Juan.
I was watching Don Juan, Candy's best friend / assistant.
/ someone who might have had an affair with Todd at some point with her, according to Mama
Joyce.
Mama Joyce.
At one point, Todd's like, well, I'm knee deep in construction. And my husband goes, yeah, well, he's also knee deep in the weirdest beard ever. That beard that Todd is sporting is so weird.
Is the old lady gang restaurant open yet?
No, I don't think so. I don't think Todd's going to make his deadline.
No.
Should we start calling him by his alias, you guys?
Oh, yes. Marvin,
dude. Wouldn't, if you were going out and you're like, my name's Todd, but I'm going to cheat on my lady and I'm going to call myself
Can
Marvin?
I say something? I wonder if, and I'm
Dude,
just making a connection. I'm making a strange connection. I don't know if it's true. I grew up in Atlanta. And there was almost like a 7-Eleven called Starvin' Marvin's that was very popular. Could there be a connection?
It's something because to pull Marvin out of
I guess, but everyone in Atlanta knew about Starvin' Marvin.
But to go from a name like Todd, you're right, to then Marvin is bold.
It is. I think it's bold. I think it sticks out. I mean, Starvin' Marvin. I feel like everyone in Atlanta is like, is that?
I don't know if this was on one of the live shows that we released last in New York.
Remember. Someone said that
came to the mic and
No, are you serious?
I mean, again, it's all alleged, but they
didn't mention Marvin, but
they said he like flirts
allegedly,
which allegedly.
I feel like Candy, if he does, I do feel like Candy knows or she's fine with it.
I think she has the confidence to go like, well, let him flirt. He comes home to me, or
she's got the agency and knows what's going on or something.
Yeah, she just seems to have a confidence in that relationship, as she should. I mean, she's so badass. I love Candy. I went through a downtime with Candy and I'm back up. But I also love Portia, who was like, she literally says, and I quote, she's like, I got yelled at, but I still had a great time. I was like, that's what I love about Atlanta. Like, nothing rocks them.
Oh my gosh, on the bus back, Portia and Kenya are laughing and giggling like old friends.
That was amazing.
It was so cute.
That was amazing.
And Kenya's like making fun of Portia, and Portia's like, I know, girl. And they're having a great time.
And it's like there's no hard feelings. These women say the most rotten things.
It was as if, Kenya didn't kind of taunt Portia so that she attacked her on live television and was pulled off by
physically
police.
and had a police report filed.
Yeah. It's like that's all water under the bridge now.
I know. I mean, once you file a police report on someone, in my world, with my friend, I think I wouldn't talk to that person again. But these ladies
are still able to have a laugh.
And they laugh, and I love them. I wish I could be that easy breezy.
Yeah. Royal Scepter who?
Exactly. Exactly.
I love them.
Now, Todd didn't seem that shocked. So we're back at Candy Factory, and Candy basically says, Portia called me out and said I was a lesbian, and then Candy drops a bomb on us all that it was pretty unbelievable.
Shocking. I had to rewind. Yes.
Do you have it written down, Danielle?
I have it.
Hold on to your seats, everyone.
Oh, God, where is it? Oh,
so good.
God, I have it written down, and why can't I find it?
Candy's basically saying that. She's like, it's funny that Portia would accuse me of being a lesbian when I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, I believe this is the direct quote. She said that one time they were at a bar and Portia and Candy, go ahead.
She said, Portia said she wanted to eat my pussy till I came. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I dropped everything. I was excited.
Titillated.
Yes. Titillated, a little turned on, shocked, disgusted. I had every emotion at that moment. But I was also like, wow, I was everything.
Because it was everything. I mean, and then Todd didn't even seem too shocked by any of these allegations.
We went to Waffle House afterwards. Yeah. Again, I love the Waffle House. I appreciated that. But I was like, Todd seemed right at home.
So basically, Portia and Kenya have hooked up, and then Portia still found fit to spread rumors about... Portia and Candy. Portia still thought it was fine to spread rumors that Candy may be a lesbian. And it's like, I love Candy's attitude. She's like, I would tell people I have had dalliances. I live my life. I'm out open free.
She's like, I have a sex toy line. Like, I'm fine with this stuff.
It was amazing. Like, I genuinely thought the most powerful quote of the whole episode. I mean, there's still things that we need to talk about that made me cry so hard. But like, that she was just like, I don't have to defend my sexuality to anyone. And it's like, yeah, you totally don't. No one does. It was awesome.
No one does. And especially you don't need to probably defend yourself to someone who offered to
lick your pussy too. You can.
Yeah. Thank you, Danielle. Yeah.
Happy to quote that often and always. Again, it's my favorite quote. I will say when they were all sitting around, it was like they were sitting around in a one-act play because they were all like in a semicircle facing like a fourth wall.
The camera person.
Yeah. So it did feel sort of like this is a performance a little bit because no one's like, they should be in a proper circle as we are right now.
But see, this is what I like about Atlanta. Like the women are really hanging out on their own time. They're not just hanging out.
Yeah.
I mean, these women have histories with each other.
And as Dan O'Brien, our dramaturg, told us last week, that now official, the fact that they have histories affects the drama on the show, and that's what makes it so good.
Wow. Deep cut.
Yeah.
Totally true.
That was really impressive. So
then we subtly shift from the lesbian accusations to a vaginal rejuvenation.
Yeah. And Kenya's throwing a party for her friend's pussy.
Exactly.
Yes.
And if
really
anything,
nice.
Kenya seems to be a bit les for Cynthia.
Yes.
I felt like, not to throw other accusations, but while we're discussing it, Kenya's obsessed with Cynthia.
She is, in a way that Cynthia literally said, I don't know her last year to Nene.
And Cynthia just seemed like, was like, okay, I'll do this. But everyone seemed like, this is very weird.
And then later had a conversation with her abusive boyfriend and was like, I'm on your side.
Yeah.
It was like, Kenya's tough. It's like,
and Kenya's like, Cynthia deserves this.
It's like, no, she doesn't. She deserves nothing from you.
I know.
She's not a good friend to you, and yet you are all up in her vag, literally.
Now, you made a good point, Kate. You said that, or no, maybe this was you, April. You said before the show you feel like Atlanta women are wearing glasses very well. And I mean, Cynthia, of course, has her eyewear line.
Yeah.
And so she's always putting on a pair. But I did like how Phaedra was wearing her her business glasses when she went to find out that her divorce was finalized.
Can we talk about her walking up to the divorce place with the strange slow motion that I've never seen in the history of, like, I feel like the editors are taking lots of like artistic, artistic, like just choices this year, and I'm here for them.
And Phaedra just looked with those glasses on like a school marm.
Yeah. She's always sort of dressing in costume for whatever she's doing.
And then the lawyer, she's like, your divorce is finalized.
Yeah, that lawyer, I will say.
She's like, and now you can move on with your life.
First of all, they had what was it, Kaplan Law Group? That sign looked like it had just gone up.
That's the same thing.
I was like,
it was like a printout from old school days where it's like, like they print out a long banner.
It was an empty house that they were like, make this a law office. And then they just put that sign up.
What do I call it? And they're like, Kaplan.
It looked like she was working in a townhome or something. It was so strange.
That said, I did feel really sad when Phaedra was crying.
I was like, why isn't your earring off already?
Oh my God.
That was so strange. I was like, you still wearing this ring?
It was hard to see. She's one of the characters I'm most connected to, invested in. I'd say Kim, Richards, obviously, Erica Jane, and then I'd say Phaedra. Those women, I feel like I know them. I feel like we might be related in some way, and
I'm sure
it shattered me to see her cry. And then, speaking of the sweet editing that they're doing, I also think they've upped their game on the musical choices. Yes. So when we go out of that law office after the slow-mo thing, and she cried, and then the song, I wrote it down. It was like, I'm the master of my own path. I was just streaming tears. I was like, hell yeah, dude. I just sobbing.
The music was just I feel like they're asking someone to just write 2 lines of a song.
Yes.
They were like, no, we don't need the whole thing. We just need 2 lines.
Dude.
But it was very powerful.
And I would love it. I love to I like that we flash back to the pickle photo shoot and just fun times.
God.
It was great to kind of touch down on those things.
Yeah, we remembered what a beautiful couple they were.
Yeah, for a very short amount of time.
For a very short amount of time, and then we were terrorized by the garage incident.
That was terrifying.
Holy crap!
Remember that it was yesterday.
Apollo. There've been a lot of incidences in garages on Atlanta.
Yeah,
garage doors
real
being
dramatic place.
Yeah. I love Phaedra too, believe me. Phaedra's my number one.
She's number one. She is so funny and so, again, has a strange relationship with the truth, but I look past that. For me to look past that, she has to have quite a personality.
Totally.
I think.
Yeah.
I adore her.
She might be the funniest housewife.
100%.
She has all the jokes.
The scene between her and Portia when she went over and bought her Hennessy, that scene where she opened up the bottle of Hennessy, the way they were screaming and dancing and laughing, it was so thrilling.
I know.
I've asked this before, but wasn't a mandate this year that every housewife has to buy a new home on Atlanta?
Wow.
Well, how does Portia afford anything? I don't understand her finances because Atlanta is not cheap. And those are big houses.
I know. They said her place was $1.4 million.
How is that? How does she even put down a down payment?
Well, was she linked with a prince lately?
Could it be? Is it Cordell money?
Cordell.
Did she get a lot in a prenup?
I think she works, right? Doesn't she
at a radio station doing interviews for online?
Oh yeah, Dish Nation, right?
I can't afford that house.
Something. Hey, I don't know, Danielle.
I literally was like, this is an amazing house. And then I'm worried about her finances. I worry that she's in too deep.
Yes, I mean, it was evidenced by a few episodes ago when her boyfriend Todd, and I know we brought this up last time, but it killed me. He was like, "You're gonna be happy." He's like, "My boss said to choose between the job or you, and I picked you." She's like, "What?" And now he's back, like giving her diamond like crosses.
Oh, wow. What was that? At first, I was like, "Is that like an ancient Egypt like ankh?" Or was it like a woman's sign? Cross,
or like a.
What was that?
It was an odd.
He's beautiful.
Not great.
I think he's very cute.
I don't know. I'm sort of colored by, again, maybe I'm not excited that he doesn't have a job.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah. And I feel like she's always like, if you want to be with me, like you have to work very hard and get ready to get married and want to have kids and get a job or else. And he's like, okay. I know. It's like clear he doesn't want to do any of those things.
No, he's not the right man. I don't know that the right man is out there for her, but I don't believe this Todd is that man.
I think there's a guy out there for her that will do all of the things that we just listed and also eat out women with her.
Really?
A girl can dream. A girl can dream.
Yeah.
These are all dreams.
Yeah. Because I think she's definitely like a good time gal. I think we saw. And
she's beautiful. Wow. She's gorgeous.
Yeah. She is.
I mean, I think she's beautiful.
I do too.
So again, she can achieve it. If she can see it, she can achieve it.
I mean, again, she's not the brightest bulb that we have.
But I think there are dumber.
Than her?
Yes.
Totally. On Atlanta?
No, maybe not on Atlanta, but on other cities.
Okay.
In Orange County.
Oh, without a doubt.
Yeah.
I think because she has a sense of humor and she's quick-witted. She's not like bright, but she says things that make me laugh. Mm-hmm. And I'm not laughing at her, I'm laughing with her sometimes. Right. So I just kind of feel like it takes some intelligence. Like, yeah. Mm-hmm. Does she have the most common sense? No. Is she immature? Yes. But I do think that there are people in OC that are definitely dumber. Hands down.
Oh, yeah, I think you're right.
So
yeah, like Lynn.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Lydia.
Oh yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
I want to say Vicky sometimes.
Absolutely.
No, Lydia doesn't like her mom to smoke pot, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Lydia's
coming back,
Is she really?
Yes, this year.
No way.
Yeah.
Wow.
Lydia's back.
Strange choice, but we'll see.
What else on Atlanta? Well, then we have the
pogo stick talk. When both the ladies, Portia and Phaedra, were like talking about dating and riding a guy like a pogo stick and demonstrating for us. I enjoyed that.
They are very fun together.
I have a question, and did I imagine this? And I rewinded it 3 times, and I rewound it 3 times, and I still wasn't sure. Did the hostess, when Portia walked into the restaurant to meet Candy, did the hostess say to her, "Looking good"?
Yes.
Yes, totally.
That's so strange. I am hostess for many years, and I never said to another person, "Looking good."
I think it's because there's cameras on. I felt like it's like there's suddenly cameras in the restaurant, and she's just being like, looking ready for camera.
Blown away by that. I thought, again, as a professional hostess, I just felt it was unprofessional.
They're telling the people in the background that are at the restaurants to just not make any notice when they're screaming, right? Because I saw the people behind the glass during Candy and Portia Showdown were just like eating naturally. And maybe it was because they were inside, but they were saying the craziest things to each other at that.
They really were. They were saying...
That was an amazing scene, which April suggested that we need to perform at some point because it was we need to get the transcript and really comb through it.
You guys have to.
I took some lines, and I would like to perform this scene because I think this is another great scene in all the great scenes that we've done. And again, we always say that this is some of the greatest playwriting out there. So here's some just excerpts. Did I eat your rotten pussy? That had me. The response from Candy was, that was Portia. Portia said, "Did I eat your rotten pussy?" And then Candy said, "It tastes like sugar." And then Portia said, "I'm not into teacups, short and stout."
You're right, Portia is a genius. Okay, I heard her say, "I'm not into it short and stout."
Teacups.
How did she get there? I'm not into teacups short and stout.
I mean, I'm telling you, this is a smart woman. Not in the ways you may want her to be in a smart woman, but the ways you need her to be a smart woman.
Brilliant. And she's firing off brilliant bombs like that on a juice cleanse. She hasn't eaten for days. She's sucking on this water bottle.
You're right. right. Maybe she was like clear her hair, as clear as could be. Those were and then she leaves lines.
After the conversation, which was amazing. She just goes, "Yeah, toodles, bitch."
Toodles, bitch was the best.
Oh, I want that on a T-shirt, please.
Toodles, bitch.
Toodles, bitch.
Candy was like, and then the best was like the sex dungeon stuff, which I do agree with Candy, right? I don't think she's lying. Like, what did Candy say?
Of course.
She was like, I think that's awesome. A sex dungeon would be great. She's like, if I had one, I think it's awesome. She's like, I just don't have one.
But Candy was still so thrown. She's like, you are lying. And Portia's like, I heard it. And she's like, from who? She's like, someone.
I know the amount of confidence that Portia says nothing with. I wish I had that in my everyday life.
Yeah, when Portia's like, you were in a relationship with a woman for 7 years. She's like, well, you better call her. And it's like, I don't think that happened.
I don't think so, too. I think she lies and can lie easily and starts to believe her lies, which I think that's the gift she has, is she starts to believe a lie that she's told herself.
Yeah, after that conversation, if I were Portia, I'd be deeply unsettled that any of this information had gotten out there. Like, Portia didn't even bat an eye when Candy was like, remember you said, again, you wanted to
eat my pissy till I came.
Yes, exactly. Like, I would be having to pull myself together that there was cameras and like this information. Portia just like looked off in the sunset and smiled content with like how that had gone.
I know.
She was like, I'm really good with that exchange.
Again, they're fine. They're all fine. Like, they say things to each other in the world that would wreck me, and they are right as rain afterwards.
And
like,
then, you know, fine. Portia again accusing Candy's husband of like going to New York and using aliases to have sex with other women. I felt like Candy got rattled by that.
Yes,
she
did.
Totally.
It was horrible.
It was horrible.
And I think next week she gets real rattled. You see her get really upset, Candy.
Oh, yeah, when they're suddenly in Hawaii.
Why are they in Hawaii?
Well, the best is in the previews for next week. The first scene, someone was like, I think we should go to Hawaii. And then the next scene, it was like, like they were there. And Kenya was yelling at a native man who was wearing a lei to twirl twirl.
I know. You know, anytime anyone just spins at all, she's like, that's my thing.
Or if anyone's like walking, she's like, twirl.
Like at the American Ballet Theater, she's like, twirl.
Well, my husband and I were watching. He like walked in at the end. He's like, I thought Peter was gone. Why is Peter back in Hawaii?
Bless your husband that he even notices these things. Matt's always like, turn it off.
Well, he just was confused because again, you know, we all thought Peter, they've signed the divorce papers, but then I see Peter at the table in Hawaii, like intervening on Candy and Portia.
I feel like they might be back together.
Oh. God.
I don't think it's a great relationship, but we'll see.
Wow. Kate, any other thoughts from you? I mean, on Atlanta of it all?
I mean, I'm still like emotionally recovering from the episode. But one thing that I couldn't stop thinking about was Riley in the studio singing her song about her dad. That
broke my heart.
I was streaming tears the entire time.
My heart.
Just dying. I can't. I love her. I love her. I love her. And I love her.
Thank you for bringing that scene up because we would have been remiss.
Yeah.
That was an unbelievable scene. Candy's a great mom. She has the capacity to say, okay, my daughter's been very hurt by her biological father, not showing up for a birthday party. How can we process this? We can write a song and Riley can get in the booth.
Yes.
And Riley didn't seem exactly enthused to be there.
No.
She was like, you never showed up on time. I waited for you at my birthday. And there was a lot of syllables. It was like, my birthday party was yesterday and you never showed up. But that's okay, Dad.
It was.
And Candy was like, yes. But it was so, it was painful to watch.
Yeah,
oh my God.
I feel for Riley. And Block, how dare you come onto the show this year and pretend you're going to be a father to Riley and then not show up again and disappoint her. Block, I've got words for you.
And Block also had sex with Portia. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah, correct.
That would be correct.
So good. It's so layered.
It is. It's high
a lot of stars have come out of the Candy Factory. I don't know that Riley will be one of them.
No. And I don't know that Riley wants to be one of them.
I don't think she does.
I mean, according to Candy's Instagram, I think her song did very well on iTunes this week. I think she did release it on iTunes.
I'm glad it did.
So I'm glad it did. But I don't see the drive in Riley. I think this was therapeutic for her, but I don't know it's what she wants to be doing.
Well, it's so interesting. Like right now, I feel like in Beverly Hills and in Atlanta, like they're all becoming momagers. They're all just kind of like, we can't let go of this control. We've got Sheree doing it. We've got Cynthia doing it with her daughter, who's like, doesn't seem to really have her heart in modeling. Lisa Rinna's doing it with Delilah and the other one.
Get all of these kids out of modeling. Modeling is not a real career. Every once in a while you end up like a Gigi, but I just say, don't, even singing, I'm fine with. At least it's like a something. Modeling is not a real thing. Stop it.
And they don't all have the talent that a Gigi has to give advice. Right. Like all you have to do on the runway is walk like you're walking to get some food.
Yeah, I mean, and I do that every day. I could be a model.
You could.
I walk to get food all the time.
Yeah. I mean, I won't say it again, but you know how I feel about some of these are not model make.
No, and nor should that be I feel like if you become a model, it should be because you are literally walking on the street and someone's like, this is it. And hopefully they are not a predator. 90% of the time they will be a predator. 10% it's somebody. Most of the time it's a predator. So I feel like modeling is something you happen into. It should not be a goal. It is not a real goal. It will only disappoint you.
Wow.
Those are my 2 cents.
Wow. Valid. Let's take a break. And then we have a very special segment, which is from our dear friend, Paul Scheer, who is comedian and hilarious actor from The League and has the most hilarious podcast with June Diane Raphael and Jason Mantzoukas called How Did This Get Made? And he's a friend of the show. And he is coming to us. He has sent in a voice memo with his Bachelor recap of the hometown visits.
Since we don't watch, we felt like somebody should be watching.
So we're going to bring Paul out in 1 second.
All right, here we are back with Paul Scheer's Bachelor hometown visit recap.
Casey, Danielle, thank you for letting me be your first Bachelor correspondent. I know you don't watch the show, and that is a crime because it is one of the best shows on TV. Yeah, you heard me, in all of TV. Suck it, Santa Clarita Diet. I've never seen Santa Clarita Diet. Anyway, here's the deal. Hometowns this week. This is the episode of The Bachelor we've been waiting for. We've had some highs. We've had some lows. I mean, the volleyball game. Oh, my God. That was one of the best moments in Bachelor history. But we've gotten here. The 4 girls. This is the end. Rachel, super tops in my book. Why is she tops? Not only because she's super cool, but her fact that her dad was like, you know what? I'm not appearing on a reality show. I appreciate that. When the parents are smart enough to know they shouldn't appear on TV, you know you got a keeper. But here's the other thing about Rachel. Whenever The Bachelor talks about like real issues, like racism, it kind of feels like an after-school special. I appreciate what they're doing. I just don't like the delivery system of it. I just feel awkward. I feel like it just makes me feel weird. But let's talk about true weird Corinne and her parents and her house. Yes, Corinne's dad, I could smell the red wine breath through the TV. Correct me if I'm wrong, but she runs a multi-million-dollar corporation out of her parents' condo. Something tells me that doesn't add up. Can you please find out what this multi-million-dollar corporation is? Because I'm not buying it, okay? Here's the other thing. This Canadian girl, this French, Canadian, Italian, I couldn't tell what was going on with the accents. Too much crying. The family seemed overly invested. She is not going to make it. But the surprise of the night, Andy Dorfman does not look like Andy Dorfman anymore. Andy Dorfman, and God bless her, I'm a fan. I was like, is that really? What? No, come on. And you know, if you've seen Andy Dorfman, this is surprising. Anyway, we got a lot to talk about, and I don't even know how I covered it because these are just thoughts on my head, but I can leave one thing with you both. I hope that in your life, the men that you're married to are the lids to your pot. And you don't know what that means unless you watch the show. So that's my brief recap of just really listing facts about The Bachelor. I hope that enlightens you to why you should be watching this show. I feel like I just spoke Chinese, just random facts that made no sense altogether. But there you go, Bachelor hometown. Can't wait to see how it all shakes out.
Wow, thank you, Paul. I know nothing based on that, but I do recognize the name Andy Dorfman. So I feel like that is I used to watch The Bachelor. But so, guys, for you guys that are Bachelor fans, we just wanted to give you a little treat. And thank you, Paul Scheer, so much. So funny. We appreciate it. Now, Casey was not feeling well and had to jettison. She had to Eileen the podcast. So it's going to be just us for the rest of the time talking Beverly Hills. Oh, now, speaking of Eileen, this diarrhea bout that Eileen has had has crippled Eileen. She can't show up for an entire episode for her best friend's Angel award. Like, this diarrhea might end Eileen.
It might.
I worry.
It might. She needs an IV and to stay hydrated. If you have it that many days, you got to put a cork in it somehow.
I know. It's like
Holy
she's
moly.
leaking. It's terrifying. Just hearing her on the phone, it gave her pink eye. Now, I do know that I have a friend who got pink eye from getting poop in his eye from his child. So I'm wondering if she got poop in her eye.
Direct Dookie and I.
He said to me, he showed up with pink eye one day, and I was like, how did that happen? He's like, well, I was changing my kid's diaper and there was a explosion. I got poop in my eye. And now I have pink eye. And so again, Eileen had Montezuma's revenge and then had pink eye. I'm just saying something happened there. A plus B equals C.
You're totally right. Like, April brought up a good point to me. She was like, yeah, I was like, wow, Dookie in the eye. And she's like, yeah, that's how you get it. And I was like, very valid. I guess for me, it's been like maybe years upon maybe 2 decades that for me, I saw like pink eye spreading eye to eye, kid to kid, little kid, nanny to nanny, that kind of thing. Never like straight from the source. Here's the bacteria into your eye.
It's fecal matter in your eye.
Fecal matter
in your eye.
Could it be urine in your eye too?
No. Urine is actually basically clean. You could clean your floors with urine.
That makes sense. I had a Latin teacher in high school who drank it. Yeah.
Like, that's why if like you pee.
Sorry, what?
No, it's a disinfectant. It's a disinfectant.
Yeah, so pee in someone's eye, they'll be clean. You'll actually do them a favor.
Totally fine.
Poo in the eye, pink eye.
And according to my Latin teacher, pee in your mouth and you swallow it, you get all the nutrients you missed the first time.
Guys,
that's what he said.
Thank you. All right, pee cleanse. Now, let's talk about Eden's hugs.
Oh, Lord.
Now, for me, that was a lot. Like, her hugs are too much. It feels like a hug from Eden is like you can't get out of it. And I really recognize that tonight with her and Lisa Rinna.
Oh, absolutely.
Who, again, I'm not a fan of Lisa Rinna this season, but it just sort of felt like, oh God, that's a hug. Just like, all right, we've been here a few. Can we end this hug?
For sure. It to me, and I could be wrong, and this is very rude, but Eden's hugs to me shout, I'm a person who knows I'm being filmed. I'm not a hugger. I'm a hater, but I'm going to hug a lot. And it's so unnatural, but I want to appear like a lovely lady who hugs. But it doesn't fit her because she doesn't wear that suit ever in life.
Yeah. I just feel like she tries really hard at everything, and one of those things is hugging.
Yes, completely true.
Just kind of felt like, and then that confrontation with Lisa Rinna, Lisa Rinna was really feeling herself because she has no power with the other girls, and she knows that she has no power with Vanderpump. She has no power with Kyle. She has no power with Erica Jane. Right. She had no power with Yolanda.
Right.
So now she's like, well, at least I'm talked out with Eden. So she was like, you've been a busy girl. Like, just trying to be sort of evil in her own little way and feeling herself. And it just came off, again, like Rinna, this whole last 2 seasons, just a little bit sweaty, a little bit desperate. And it just didn't work.
Yeah, I completely agree. And if there's one way for me to lose respect for you, and it takes like, you have to try really, really hard. It's like, Lisa, you know what it's like to be on the bottom of the totem pole, but the second you get a chance to try to like make Eden feel like that, you take it. Pathetic, not cool, whack.
Yeah. Thank you. Exactly. And then, of course, Dorito has to get into the situation.
Oh, my Lord.
I'm so sick of her and that top knot. And when she arrived in that I've never hated a hairstyle more. And I love a top knot.
Yeah.
In fact, April has taught me how to do one. She calls it the mouton for her last name. And I've tried to emulate it to little success. But when April does it, it looks great. But I just have to say that it's just everything about her. When she drives up to that Angel Food Network and that stupid rose gold Bentley.
Oh my gosh.
I was just like, oh, Dorito. She's killing me. And just like, I want to like her. I do think she's really pretty, and I'm just trying to find something to like about her. I know I've always been a hater of Eileen, and people have sort of criticized that before, but Dorito, I think everyone sort of dislikes her, but I'm trying to find the good in her, and I do think she's an attractive woman. Does that help?
No, I think that helps. Her tagline's funny as fuck.
Yeah.
Exactly. So she's got that.
And you were saying earlier that you felt that Eden and Brandy looked alike.
Yes. When I first saw Eden this season, I thought for a second, is that Brandy? And then I thought, no, it's not Brandy, but is that Brandy's sister? I don't know a lot about.
You had
Brandy.
said while we were watching, are they related? And I said, I think that they're related by surgeon,
which is so valid.
Which is true. I feel like they've been to the same doctor in Beverly Hills, and so in that way, yes, I do believe they are related. Another thing that happened was Kyle at the Angel Food Network, like turning her nose up at the fish she had to take out of the.
Oh my gosh!
I was like, Kyle, save it! Like, no, I mean, like, do something to your face. You are helping people that cannot help themselves. Please just have a nice face on. Do yourself a favor, even if you are in some way disgusted. You don't like the smell of the fish. Just. You're being filmed.
Yeah, you're being filmed.
You're in front of people who are helping people. Like, just take it like a woman.
Exactly. This is food that human beings are going to eat and enjoy, and you're totally disrespecting it. And it's like, have you never had like a can of Pillar Rock pink salmon? Yes. Crack one open, dude.
And Vanderpump shows in what looked to be like a pith helmet on safari. And that was a choice to do some charity work. And it was strange. But I enjoyed it. It was just a choice I wouldn't have made myself. But that's what I like about her, is she makes choices no other human being would make.
Totally.
Including when we were watching, first of all, the fact that she is finally buying an apartment for Max. Thank God. That poor boy has suffered enough. But then it turns out she bought an entire house for Pandy and the furniture.
All the furniture was a birthday gift.
Her and that drip drab husband. He looks just, I know he's not wet, but he just looks like he's just sopping wet all the time. You know what I mean? Like, he's just so like dripping. Like, I just can't with them with Pandy, and I feel for Max. And the fact that he's only 24, I was shocked, because I feel like Max has lived a life.
Oh yeah, wise beyond his years, and also works a real job at
Has Pandy
the
ever
restaurant.
worked anywhere besides that blog?
I honestly haven't seen it, but I have seen Max be a busboy, and I have seen him put in the time.
Me too. I've seen him in person.
No way.
Yes, we went to Sir Sexy Unique restaurant, and Max was bussing our table.
Holy moly.
Took a picture with him.
That is so
epic. But I've seen him in, like, it's not just when they're filming. Like, he is literally bussing tables. And Pandy and that terrible husband, and he's not a terrible person, he's just not there. He's void. They reap all the awards, I think. And Max is made to suffer. Again, they're buying him furniture, a very expensive couch, more expensive than I've ever bought myself.
Yes.
So there you have it. But I did kind of feel like, come on, like, if you're going to give Pandy a house, then you give Max a house. Just because you're married doesn't mean you deserve a house.
Totally. I think, could this be possible, Danielle, that he's not getting a house because Lisa's worried that James Kennedy would come over and ruin it or trash it?
Oh, James is a monster. And again, we don't watch a lot of Vanderpump Rules on this podcast just because we tried, but I do know who James is, and I think he's a garbage human.
Yeah.
He is a piece of fecal matter that gets in your eye and gives you pink eye.
He gets up to some shit, for sure.
He's the pink eye of people. I believe that to be true.
Lots of people share this opinion. I guess I would say everyone I know shares this opinion, but my boyfriend Alex and I are enamored with him on the show and find him. Well, I mean, in an entertainment way. I mean, he's always keeping the story moving forward, and when he's not involved, I wish he was. And I like how he picks on Jax. It's funny.
Sign of a good reality star.
Yes,
as I've said before, just because I don't have to like you to love you.
Yeah.
Now, the scene, I'm the biggest Erica Girardi fan, as you, as is Casey. Like, we love her. And I love her relationship with Mr. Girardi.
Yeah.
That scene with them was the most awkward scene I've ever seen. It seemed as if they were old friends that hadn't seen each other in, I'm going to say, years. They are married.
Right.
I've always felt that they did have some sort of sexual chemistry, and I'm not sure if this is just because Michael Rappaport sort of like came on the podcast and like sort of like he explained the relationship in a way that was enlightening to me, and maybe I'm just taking that to heart. But the way that they talked to each other was like old friends catching up, and that, you know, they're married, they live in the same house. I know they don't see each other often, but to have like a get together in a restaurant felt like, well, okay, see you in a year or two.
Yeah, it was definitely a weird slice of the Girardi love life. It did feel weirdly stunted, and normally they're very connected.
Yeah, it felt grandfatherly, and that's the first. Again, he's quite a bit older, but I always felt like they had some sort of love.
Right.
But this kind of felt like grandfather to granddaughter to me, and I didn't like that side of them. I like to picture them making love.
Right.
Even though, again, he's an older gentleman, but I have said on this podcast that even for an 80-year-old man, I find myself attracted to him.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
But I do feel like that, to me, they felt like friends.
Yeah.
I was sort of disappointed by that scene. I hope that there's nothing going on bad.
No, I feel like they're both such high quality people that maybe we caught them on an off day, or maybe the producers were like, hey, we need an extra restaurant scene. I don't know, would that happen? I'm just thinking of a million excuses.
Because we want to like them, and we want to love them, and we cheer for them. So to see them in an unflattering light is not fun for us.
Yes.
Again, I love Erica. I love Mr. Girardi. I will never say anything bad. She has not paid me. I just feel like I love them so much, so I root for them.
Yes.
But then they're all going to the Angel Network. What did Lisa Rinna do that was so good that she deserves to be feted?
Yeah, for the life of us, we couldn't figure this one out. Like, what has she been doing?
It seemed the first time that she had ever set foot in that kitchen.
I completely agree.
So does she just give them money? Is that what it is?
My money would be on she gave them money, and she said, guys, here's some of my money. Pretend that I've been here a long time and give me a big vase.
Yeah, they really did. And
dude,
guys, we were looking at the crowd scene.
Danielle.
Guys, this is
great catch.
This is where my eagle eye comes in. Just a crowd scene, everybody there. Of course, there's Camille, there's the ladies, and just a bunch of strangers. And in the middle of the crowd at the Angel Network, what's it called? The Angel Food Network. Yes. In the middle of the crowd, I spot celebrity hairstylist Chaz Dean. I was floored. If you don't know who he is, look him up.
Oh my gosh.
He has billboards all over Los Angeles. I think allegedly he has been blamed for people's hair falling out from his products.
The Wen hair system.
Yes, the Wen hair system.
Not to be trusted.
Not to be trusted at all. He is a terrifying looking person. And so of course I spotted him in the crowd. He sticks out. But we all froze and we're like, oh my gosh, Chaz Dean. We were so excited.
It was maybe one of the top 3 most exciting moments of the episode.
Yeah. Needle in a haystack. And I felt very excited to have spotted him.
Oh, it was epic. And he has new hair. He has a few
sort
braids.
Of braided situation. Is any of that his hair? Unclear. There was also watching Dorit walk down that fucking driveway. If I have to watch her walk down that horrible driveway, get a new house that is not terrifying to walk down.
Yeah, someone help with the driveway. Perhaps a ramp or something. A lift.
Wheelchair accessible, anything.
Yeah.
It's not a great situation.
No.
And then Lisa Rinna talking about Harry Hamlin. I mean, I do feel like she loves him very much. And I think he loves her too. I think it's a good relationship. I feel like she's hanging by a thread. And if anything, God forbid, happened to Harry and their relationship, she would be done. Like, I think that all her eggs are in the Harry Hamlin basket right now.
Yeah, absolutely. I would totally agree.
Which makes me sad for her. I mean, not that you shouldn't love your husband, but I'm just saying it just feels like, I don't know, it's so out loud and proud in a way that it's just like, we get it. You guys love each other. We hear you.
Right. I hear you, Danielle. I'm worried. I think you're totally right. She's hanging by a thread. And I think she's been playing with fire. I mean, all this shit she's been talking about, Kim, has been so personally upsetting to me. Yeah. And I'm sure they're lit up. I think she's going to get called out, dragged out for it. And she's going to have to have a come to Jesus moment.
We all know she said it.
Yeah.
And Kim, I love any little peek of Kim we get in an episode. And I think she's very light and breezy right now. And she's about to be a grandma and she's so excited. And again, I don't know about her sobriety, but I wish her all the best in this world. And I want her to succeed. I want the best for her. You know, I'm just wishing her good thoughts. It seems like next week we're going to have a situation with her, you know, like, and Lisa again. And it's getting a little old. Like, everybody kind of like leave it alone with her and Aiden and her sobriety. I just kind of feel like move on.
Absolutely. And no one has any right to mess with that. Like, that is a for real difficult life thing anyone to achieve.
But why did Kyle bring it up to her?
Why did Kyle bring it up to Kim?
Yeah, like about what Lisa had said. I thought like why does Kim doesn't need to hear that other people are doubting her sobriety and that she's on the brink of death. I just felt like, Kyle, you know what? You're not helping right now. Mm-hmm. I'm sure it's good drama for the show, but in a world where your relationship with your sister is a little tenuous anyway, like just keep it happy.
Totally. I could venture out and guess that maybe this is where Kyle is coming from. Mm-hmm. As the little sister, she was like, oh, you have to hear it from me first before you hear it from these bitches. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm hoping that was it. Maybe. Or
that's
just
the
to
point
be
I had.
prepared.
You know what, Kate? I think that's a good point.
Thank you, Danielle.
If I didn't think of it that way, and now it's becoming very clear that that's exactly why she did it. And now I changed my mind. Thank you, Kyle, for doing that. See, we change on a dime on this podcast. And we say it all the time. Like, if you're upset with something we've said about someone, just know in 5 seconds we can change our mind. We can get enlightened about something. And Kate just said that, and I was like, oh my God, Kyle's an amazing sister. 180, less than 5 seconds. And I stand by both of those opinions I've had tonight. So just know that, like, everything changes. Mm-hmm. Guys, thank you so much, Kate. I think that's all. Anything else you want to say about Beverly Hills or about anything we've talked about tonight?
I mean, I'm just been so honored to be here. These are my favorite shows. It's my favorite podcast. And thank you so much for having me.
And you guys, it's Cate Freedman, and she's on TV Land's Teachers. It's 10 p.m. on what night? Sorry, Tuesday night. Sorry, yeah. Tuesday nights, 10 p.m., 9 p.m. Central. Such a funny show. So many funny people on it.
Thank you so much.
A hilarious group of ladies I love to support, like funny, strong improvisers, and you guys are so funny, and I'm so excited to have you on the podcast.
Thank you, Danielle. That's so kind. Thank you so much.
Thank you for being here. And I'd also like to give a shout out on our podcast this week. I just wanted to say to Melanie Tapp, I'm sending you a lot of love. Casey and I are just sending you so much love. We know it's been some tough times, but your friend Michael Jester and all your friends have your back. So I just want you to know that. Tough times, but you got a lot of people that love you, and we're sending you lots of love. But wow, what a week. What a world to be alive in when things like the Real Housewives of Atlanta give you so much joy. Mm-hmm. So I just want to say thank you, Kate. Thank you, Casey, who had to leave abruptly like I did last week, but there's an explanation. Thank you, April.
Thank you.
Thank you, Luz. Thank you, Paul Scheer, for that wonderful Bachelor recap. Thank you, Earwolf, and we'll see you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye.
This has been an Earwolf production, executive produced by Scott Aukerman, Chris Bannon, and Colin Anderson. For more information and content, visit earwolf.com.